On first down, play action, and Prescott is buried by Michael Bennett. Oh, did he take a crack from Michael Bennett back at the 12-yard line? He was just hit by a locomotive.
What's your impression of the Philadelphia fans?
I always thought the fans were gritty, but and we're super into the game. They love the football. Like Philly is like one of those cities that the city embodies the people, and I think the team embodies the same type of attitude, like a hardworking class of people and a hardworking team. So now that I'm here, I can see that that's exactly what I thought it was. And then when you go into the stadium, the fans there, it's like Philly. They're true but honest, true but fair. And, when you're doing good, they're gonna be there to support you. And sometimes when you're bad, they're gonna let you know what you need to fix. Sometimes when I'm in the car, on the Uber, and I heard 94.1 or one of those radio stations, and I just hear like the fans saying exactly who needs to be in the game and why. So obviously the fans love the Eagles, so they feel like they're a part of the game, so that's important.
What's that energy like that you get from the fans when you're in Lincoln Financial?
I think the energy is very euphoric. I think you get into the stadium and you get mesmerized by the green. You get mesmerized by the names on top of the stadium. When you look up, you see Reggie White, you see Clyde Simmons, you see Jerome Brown, Seth Journey. You see all these great, legendary defensive players, and then you want to go out there and embody what they embody when they play. So every time I step on the field, I tend to think about the way that they play defense. And then I come from a defensive background as far as always being on great defenses, and so being here, there's nothing new to that. And just the people who've done it before me here, I always want to pay homage to them, and I respect the atmosphere every time I go out there, because you see the people who've been there. And I just love that about it. That's what I love about going into Lincoln Field, is that I feel that energy of the past.
So this energy that this team has now, how exciting is this? After week 11, take that big loss to the New Orleans Saints, but after that, there's just a different energy.
Yeah, I think every team has its ups and downs. I think we've been battle tested as far as injuries. I think our core group of players, the guys that we were penciling in on the paper to be guys that were going to be important to the season, we lost a lot of those guys, whether corners, safeties, DBs, defensive linemen. We lost a lot of people, and it took a lot of the time for the young guys to adjust to the speed of the game. And sometimes when you're playing against some of these players, you look at Drew Brees, 17, 18 years in the NFL, high caliber quarterback who's been doing it for a long period of time. When you're a young player, it's hard to fathom the type of games that he's been in the atmosphere, and the pressure that he's been upon in this league. And I think young players took a time to step up, and I think over the course of the season, those young players were young, and now they're becoming more mature when they step out there, understanding the splits of the receivers, understanding the way that teams run the plays, the tendencies, and I think that's what it takes for young players to step up. And I think it was important for the veteran leadership to show that type of leadership to what it takes to be a pro. And I think from that time on, when you get out there, you get embarrassed, because that's exactly what happened. We went out there and got thrashed.
Yep.
And I think it was a sense of like, damn, we can't let this happen to us. Or not only is it about, having pride, but it's also about the unity that we go out there every week and we work hard for, and the sacrifice that we make as teammates and the sacrifice that we make as individuals. And so we want to be able to have that collective, victory upon each other. And I think it's important that as the veterans, we wanted to bestow that upon them, to be like, look, we can't let that happen again, because at the end of the day, it's also about the Eagles, but it's also about the name on your back, you know what I'm saying? The people, your family members, the people that came before you. And I think that's important for us to always take that jump. And I think that was really the jump that we took. We took ownership of our team. We took ownership of how we did practice. We took ownership of how we present ourselves on the field.
Your skill set, coming from Seattle, you build a name for yourself. How does that skill set fit to this defense?
For me, it's super hard to leave an organization that you've been with for a long period of time, because, like you said, you got to reinvent yourself. You got to really be able to adjust. And I think for me personally, it's very hard to, be attached to like people, or be attached to, a culture. And I think you put so much energy into the people and the people around you, and you wonder if you're able to do that again? Are you able to be a part of your teammates' life again like that? Are you able to trust a culture like that again? Are you able to trust an organization like that? And I think every player that's been a part of an organization for a long time, those questions go across their mind. How do I redo? How do I be into something? How do I give myself again without having that sense of that disconnect? And I think for me, it took a little bit of time to build those bonds up with guys like Fletcher and Chris and Malcolm and DB and BG and all these guys and Haloti and Timmy and all those guys. And I think I wanted to be able to find a way to position myself and not step in and be like, oh, I'm the leader or this or that. I wanted to be able to fall back and let the guys who's been leading before and find a way to contribute in a positive way. And I think my skill set has allowed me to do that because I've been able to be moving around different positions. Wherever they put me at, I always wanted to produce. And I think for me, I think a player is always judged on what he does in his later years of his career. When you're in your 30s, you're 33, 34, can you still produce? Can you still play at a high level? And I think ultimately I proved that this season, that it doesn't matter really, it's about the skill set and how you love the game. And for me, I've always loved the game of football, and being here now and being around guys who love this game and are committed to the process, not just committed to the wins and losses, but the process of the game, the studying part, the part that people don't really talk about. And when I step into this building, I see guys like Carson Wentz and Nick Foles who are all about that.
You talk about a connection, and I've heard you speak about Doug Peterson in glowing terms. So there must be a connection now. You must have somehow been able to make that connection that you speak of with this group and with that coaching staff.
I think for me it was against Tennessee. I had an incident with one of the coaches, and we kind of got in an argument, and it was about playing time and being able to get on the field. And for me, I've been an all-star for a long time in the league, and and I wasn't getting on the field, and I couldn't understand why. And so I kind of got heated. Me and the coach kind of got heated with each other. And Doug could have did anything that he wanted to do as far as discipline or whatever, but he called me, and the first thing he said was, "Are you okay?" I don't care about anything else. Are you okay? How do you feel? And for me, at that moment, it was a respect factor, because at that time, I knew that he respected me as a human being and not just as a player. And from then on that day, I felt that I owed him the same commitment as a player, to be able to, whatever he asked me to do, to execute it, because I understand that beyond the X's and O's and player and coach, he respects people on a human level. And so for me, I have a obligation and a duty and a commitment to continuously play hard for a guy like that.
So I mentioned this to Nelson last week, and it's interesting to me that your head coach has a feel for you guys, especially veteran guys, and this time of year, giving you some downtime, making sure that you are at peak time, with the rest that you're getting when it's time to play. How important is that?
It's super important. It's also a trust factor, because at that time, he could be working you hard, but he's trusting that you're going to do all the things that you're supposed to do as a player, what the things you're supposed to do as a veteran, the things you're supposed to be studying, how you take care of your body. So for us, you want to pay that back, pay that dividends back, because we're being able to play at a high level, we rested, and I think it's important at this time of the year, because the NFL is really about who can stay healthy the whole year, who has their best players when it's time to play in the playoffs in December. And you can see there's teams who they trend up at the beginning of the season. When at the end of the season, when people are hurt, they don't have the people to play in the games. And for us, we're resting our players, we're getting them back into the fold of things, and then every single week we're executing. And we played our best football towards the end when we really needed to. And I think that really shows a lot about us, because we're so judged on how we fight in adversity. And I think for me personally, to be able to show that grit, not only to myself and my teammates, to be able to show my daughters that there's times in life where you're going to be down, and you have these choices. Either you stay down or you're going to get back up. And I think for us and me, we got back up every single time, no matter what the punch was, how we got hit, we stood up and we faced ourselves. And I think for us, that's what this season was really about. And it's always hard after you go to a Super Bowl the year before, because there's so much happening, so much surrounding. It's the media, it's the obligations, the contracts, the new things that are happening. And you have to reconnect to yourself or reconnect to your teammates on a constant constant thing because there's different variables now than there were before, and I think it's important that we had to reconnect to ourselves and recommit to who we are as a team and who we are as individuals.
Michael, Philadelphia is glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you finish your career here in Philadelphia.
Me too, man. I think for me, like being in this organization, like I said, I grew up with defense. There's guys that I seen growing up that I respected as players, but I respected them as men. And this organization had a lot of those guys. And to be in this city and be a part, to be on the defense where, you know, Reggie White walked through, Javon Curse came through this building.
Yep.
You know, these guys are guys that I looked up to, Bobby Taylor, you know, Corey Simon, you know, Jenkins, and just guys that I just love watching Babin, and then I'm in the same room as a player. Sometimes I get in awe when I walk into the locker room, or when I walk into the stadium and I see and I think about those guys that I love watching playing football, and now I'm in the same locker room. Like I said, I just feel obligated to be a part of this defense and carry the defense at a high level with Fletcher and BG and Chris and all the rest of the guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, guys.